And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from James Reamer, who asked the question. This one you had for a long time. Now it's Halloween. Now it's the Halloween season. Following around this, who would win in the fight? Or let's rephrase that: what would win in a fight? The Blob versus the Stuff. Now, excuse me, the Stuff versus the Blob. So this is a weird one because they're both kind of the same thing, but different at the same time. The Blob, depending on which version you're looking at, is either alien or a science experiment. We'll go with the one I have here, the 1988. And I believe it's 1988 is when it was released. Yeah, I'm pretty certain this is the 1988 one. Anyway, where it was a scientific experiment because nothing changes about its actual physiology between the movies. The Blob is, the best way to describe it is a giant amorphous acidic amoeba. It continually just eats, absorbs things, assimilates things, and just consumes them and grows in mass. I'm guessing it was designed by the military as a weapon. I believe that was the case. There is no real way to hurt the Blob. There's no way to kill it because you couldn't, you can't burn it. It's it does get a little around fire, but it's not overly hurt by fire. Concussive forces won't kill it. You blow it up, then you're just spreading it out more. It may reassimilate itself, or it may, part of it may go into hiding. It's amazingly does display a level of intelligence. Maybe not sentience, but intelligence, as it's able to ambush and stalk prey to some extent. The only way that's been shown to take it out is, or at least to subdue it, would be cold. It cannot function of cold because it is a gelatin liquid-like mass which freezes and solidifies in cold weather. So if you're able to freeze it, then you're able to stop it. Now that said, I don't know if it's ever been implied what happens if you were to incinerate it with extreme heat, melt it down with acid, something along those lines. I don't know if it's ever been stated along those lines what would happen. It's possible that its form would be resistant to acid. The fact that it was in a satellite in the remake, a meteorite in the original, it might be resistant to heat, but the sudden exchange of heat, if you were to somehow freeze it, send it into the sun or whatever, then, maybe you could stop it, but who knows. So that's the Blob. The Stuff, it's even more difficult to explain because it's never truly stated what the Stuff actually... we get the general idea of what it is. The Stuff in the movie is a edible white substance that's found coming out of the ground in the movie. It tastes sweet and delicious and addictive, so they start selling it as food. But the Stuff is actually a sentient organism. That is actually consuming people from the inside who eat it and eventually taking them over and turning them into weird zombie people. It can move on its own. We've seen that it can move on its own. But unlike the Blob, it actually seems to have an even more level of intelligence as it seems to be just using people and using them effectively because it's still being sold all over the world by the end of the movie. But the question is who would win in a fight between these two, or a confrontation, as it would be. It wouldn't be a fight. It basically would be who assimilates who. And the correct answer to that is honestly the Blob. The Blob wins this fight. Now, these two somehow met, and for some reason this stuff had to be sentient and attack the Blob, and these two, try to, eat each other. It would be the Blob. Now, the reason for that is actually quite simple. The Stuff, by all accounts, the Stuff cannot be digested by us. The Stuff is an organism that is immune to our digestive system, and therefore it is actually using that against us and is eating us from the inside out. But that's for us. Clearly, the Blob is a different type of entity entirely, basically just living stomach acid in a jello mold. So it's about, they bump into each other. It's the Stuff pretty much just would dissolve in the Blob. Now, does the Blob get possessed by the Stuff? That's the real question. And I don't think it would be. The Blob pretty much will digest any organic matter, period, end of story, as far as we can tell. So ultimately, I got to go with the Blob. I think the Blob is the more likely candidate here. But ultimately, I could see maybe an argument for the stuff. It's just a matter of what that argument actually is. But let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I knew it was going to be a short one. It's definitely not the shortest I've ever done, though. I just who would win, Star Wars, Super Magic, What If, anything to do in the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. I'll be back with What If, which I didn't do yesterday, and a Schmodown video. So keep your eyes out for that. See you later.